Awesome. So we have Gustavo here from PowerIsa. So super excited to have you on board, Gustavo, for this call. I just want to go through your experience with us and walk through everything what you do, and also show up if anyone's interested in working with you. We can also talk about that at the end. But let's start off. Gustavo's been the client with us for I think about 2 to 3 months now, and
Yep.
some great things. So let's start off with Gustavo. Introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit more about your business, your background, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thanks, Prab. Yeah, so Gustavo Munoz Castro, founder of PowerIsa, been around since 2015. So founded like an ISA agency that helps real estate agents, marketers, investors, helps them get an inside sales agent appointment setter on their team. Have helped about 1,200 agents, loan officers, investors over the last 7 years. So been around the block a few times, I think, in this space.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, I think when you first came in, like you were selling an offer online, which it was selling, right? You had repositioned it from like a done for you, and then it went into a placement service. And then I think one of the first things that we recommended was, we need to make the offer in a way where it aligns with what agents want most right now, which is like a lead gen. So you combine, we decided that we're going to implement a coaching program into the offer, right? And you're going to be having the IC on the back end. So walk me through a little bit more about how you shifted your offer in that process, and you just tell me about some of the changes you made and how they impacted your business.
Yeah, so I've been trying to run ads, with my previous offer for like a long time. I don't remember if I told you I had hired a coach to help me put ads behind it. I think ultimately it just wasn't profitable, right? We weren't making any money. The offer just wasn't, I didn't realize it at the time. My offer wasn't strong enough to really make sense to drive it behind the ad. So if you have a bad offer, a badly constructed offer, not a strong enough offer, you put all the money you want behind it, right? You're not going to make any money. So I'd spent, I want to tell you, probably between ad spend, coaching, and everything, probably thirty to $40,000 trying to get this to work in the past. I tried to do this, right? So that was my previous experience. So when and I've been following you guys for a while. I go, you know what? You guys seem to have figured this out. What's going on here, right? And that was the first thing you guys suggested. Hey, you got to change up your offer. I'm like, really? Like I thought my offer was awesome, right? Like, what are you talking about? But you know what? I trusted the process. Hey, let's see what these. I mean, they got to be doing something right, right? They're having a lot of success. Let's see what they have. And it was like night and day, bro. It was like not. That was the problem. That was the problem, right? And I really relied on your guys' expertise and knowledge about this space, a space that I'm already an expert in, by the way, right? But you had the other angle. You had the ads part of it, right? The
Acquisition, yeah.
direct response, the acquisition part. You had thought about that a lot deeper than I had. So I came into the program already with a six-figure business, right? Over 100,000 per month, but we had not been able to figure out this acquisition method, which is ads, and I wanted to add that. And strategically, I'm at my, I guess I'm at my ceiling of achievement with my, organic methods and my joint ventures. I'm like, that's ceiling of achievement. I need ads to bust through. So I was very motivated to like, hey, help me figure this out. So wrapping the offer with a better front end offer and the coaching program and my existing services, right? They're already there. I've always been there. Was the winning combination. And within 30 days, I was making money off of ads when I had tried for a whole year, basically wasted $40,000 and had made zero money off of that before.
Yeah, I know you guys have a really strong organic foundation. Like I've seen you in like in the Lab Code Agents group, and like you got good channel partners and joint ventures there. You also the Facebook group is crushing. I always see you in live and lots of comments. But yeah, like that cold traffic, once you validate, that's what really with the sales team. That's what starts ramping, production up. Because like what it is like, like past 100K a month, like to really ramp up on the front end, it's just about having one offer with a scalable sales team system, and just like I think right now you're just selling that on the front end, it's just one marketing angle, right? One sales letter, one offer. And of course, sometimes another offer may be a better fit for them. For a majority of the prospects, I'm assuming right now, they just one offer and the sales team be able to replicate that. So I think in the beginning, there was a little bit of, you had to solve for that sales script, because that is definitely, a challenge on its own, right? It's a long sales script, long formulated process. And it was also an issue for us in the beginning because I could sell that and Jazz could sell it, but it was hard to translate it. So, the founder was going in the seats, doing the calls. We got our, I think you're probably going to transition now into the next year, like just full sales team, right? You're going to take that foot out
Yeah.
of the sales seat.
Yeah, 100%. I think my goal now is to really dial in that sales process because now I've solved the appointment generation problem, right? I was to look at my numbers, 53 attended appointments in the last, I think this is like the last 90 days, 53 attended appointments, right? I had never had something I could press the accelerator on and scale my appointments before. Okay, I didn't have that before. You can't do that with organic. I wish I could. You really can't, right? Which is why I was at that ceiling of achievement. I can scale this offer up to $100,000 in revenue a month now, which is a function of ad spend and that conversion rate, that sales process. And I'm not going to do it myself. That's not the point. Like you said, that sales team, building up the sales team, training my existing sales team to figure out this offer and dial in the conversion, and growing my sales team with the. And you guys have a great training around that too. But that's the next step for me. I see a path though to get this offer to $100,000 per month.
Definitely. I mean, I think we were talking about it too, like, like getting the goals with the sales team to get about 150 to 200K a month the front end, and then adding in a back end offer. And like, you're also with EXP, which is a really good natural back end, but you can have so many different back end offers. I think even our community, right? Like we've got guys like Sam who just sold his first back end offer for 10K. So he's had successful clients. He's become a real estate coach just as we did. So like there's so many different offers you can sell, but yeah, like it's definitely like once that sales team kicks in, it's like it's just gonna be like you turning the knob up on the ad spend as long as the numbers make sense. I think last time we talked, the cost per acquisition was about $500 on a ticket price of I think average 5K. I'm not sure what the average ticket price is now, but let's
But
actually
yeah, it's about the same, right? It's about the same, 500. I even told you I could do $1,000. I can acquire these, for my offer, I can acquire them even at $1,000, right? Now, I don't think any month it's been higher than $800. So 500, $800 is very doable for me because the price of the service and the program is only going to go up, right? Hey, that's not a problem. We can definitely, do even better than that. But an acquisition, because before my acquisition was like, $2,000 to acquire a client, which that's just not going to work for the price point I was managing.
definitely. Yeah, I think like the price point, it just comes with time. Like you guys have a ton of case studies. It just like, it was for us too at the beginning, like quoting a little bit higher, like 6 to 8 grand. And then once we got that pipeline built, like we sold 5 agents on this week for like 6.4K on average for lead gen. And like it just like because the people have been working the pipeline. So pipeline is very important too. But like let's actually start off, like I didn't ask this question yet, but like what's been the wins? Like can we quantify the wins? Like, like how much has the ROI been on primarily the ads, I think.
I actually ran the numbers before our call. I want to give you
Okay.
some fresh numbers. And actually, it's kind of pumped myself up, which is not bad. Right now, for about, let's the last 90 days. Again, the last 90 days from not knowing what the hell I was doing to now, which is I know a lot more now than 90 days ago. So take that into consideration. About $9,000 in ad spend to get 18,000 in sales so far, 18,000 through the door, which is, again, 2-to-1 ROI, not bad. From starting from zero, being very ignorant in this whole process. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for achieving that. But this is with I'm almost embarrassed to say this, an 11% close percentage, okay, which is very low. Let's be honest, right? It's very low. It's only going to go up from here, okay? And as these leads start to convert in the pipeline, so if I'm starting out with a 2-to-1 ROAS, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up over it too badly because I'm getting better and better and better. And that's another part of your program that's been very helpful. Even though I already have a 6-figure agency, doing over 100,000 a month, my sales process for organic versus paid ads is very different. I've realized that now. It's like night and day kind of a difference, right? Someone coming in that already knows, likes, and trusts you versus someone just barely getting to know you, like barely starting in that process, right? So once we dial that in, these numbers I can get to realistically get to 4 to 5 ROAS, which is going to be like bonkers for us.
Yeah, I think ours like in that like it took us a little bit of time as well. Like with the content, it helps a lot, right? Like when we started putting a lot of content to our list. But like that, like on average, you see like the first sort of round of ROAS like 90 days after, then you see like the real ROAS is like a year after, right? That's when you actually see because a lot of leads will convert then as well.
For sure.
But like
100%.
so the close rates are going to go up over time. Like we always had, like some of our top closers, right? Like they of course were rock stars, but it took some time to get them there, right? And it was just a work in progress. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough niche to. The way I look at real estate is like it's a tough niche to sell to because they're selling to salespeople. But if you can crack it, the market's so big, right? Like you're never going to run the
Yes.
sell to that, and that's why when you want Facebook ads, cold traffic with the sales team, like it fits in really well, right? And like it just makes a lot of sense. So, tell me a little bit more about like I'm actually just gonna add the next question I want to see is like, what's your plans for the next year? Like, what do you want to do with the business? Where do you see yourself? Like, what's the current revenue at like right now on ballpark, if you don't mind sharing, and like what do you want to get to in the next year? What's the goals?
Yeah, so we're already above 100,000, a month right now. I want to bump it up to 200,000. This offer is going to be my offer. It's going to take us to 200,000 in the next 12 months. And I see a pretty clear path on how to do that. So essentially double the revenue for the company in the next 12 months. That's the goal. Off of this new offer, just off of this new offer. And we're going to maintain everything else. But we're going to put all the energy and all the investment and the time into this new offer because it's just that much better, much more profitable. It's also a better business to run. I prefer running the business off this new offer than on the old one. So I see a big win there.
Yeah, like we also saw this too, like when we were something that's pure play consulting, right? Like, I mean, I know you're sort of like a mixture between like your Renegade program and also REMC, sort of similar thing at the end of the day, right? Like they're basically the same program, except Renegade is like people starting off doing coaching right off the bat, and REMC is like sort of working your way towards coaching because some of the people haven't, had the experience like you've had, right, or case studies, but they're very similar in programs in nature. But like consulting, like when we made the switch to consulting, like that's when the margin shot up. And I would even, this is something that's surprising, but lower chargebacks, lower refunds, lower escalations to clients, happier clients overall. Like it would just like we were bringing on 60 clients a month, and it was like we only had two people on the back end. Like I think that's where the future is. Like it's running really lean, really profitable. Because in this space, and you and I both know, like online business, like revenue is one thing, but profits another, right? A lot of people do not accumulate profits month over month.
No, you're talking. I've done six figures in top line for years now. But I'm like when you have such a large team, a big fulfillment, a big back end, a lot of that is just in your operations. I know 100%. You can run a big top line number and have a very small, relatively small take home number. And with this program, my goal was okay. I want to increase the top line number for sure. I also want to massively increase the bottom line as well, right? So not just have a lot of sales or a lot of a big, a lot of big. Again, it's very, great to say, oh, I sell six figures a month. Yeah, it is great, but if you're only taking home a small fraction of that, that's not as great, right? So bumping up that profit, making more take home, seeing my bank account increase. That's really the biggest thing, biggest motivator, and probably the biggest advantage I see of shifting the model to a more profitable model.
100%. Yeah, I see a lot of the clients too. Like we have clients that come into our ES program, and even our EMC, right? Like people are in the agency space and like they're making like 150 grand a month, but they're taking home like 20K or 10K, and that's like before taxes. Like it just like is it's not that fun because I've been in that spot before, right? So that's why one of the reasons why I actually swapped into the consulting model too, right? So get that profit up. But let's talk a little bit more about like I know there's like one part of the whole program is like there's a course area and our team and one-on-one, which I'm sure is helpful, but like talk about the community, like how's the community helped you out? Because I think
Oh,
there's
it's a real, yeah, the community, and I love, finding those kind of communities is hard, right? Where people are, they got the right mindset, they've got the right experience. For me, a good chunk of the value of programs like this is the community, right? Because, you get a lot out of the content, you definitely get a lot out of the consulting and the coaching, but the sharing those experiences and like, rooting each other on and the things you learn from folks. So there's always someone in the group that's killing it on, cold outbound, not even ads, right? People that are doing more revenue than me right now just on cold outbound. It's like mind blowing. It kind of resets your expectation to what's possible, right? So that's another thing. So this is we're building a team inside my staff to just do cold outbound because I saw in the group, it's people that are just absolutely killing it with that. And we had done that years ago. It kind of became less profitable. And I got caught up in the mindset of, oh, it doesn't work anymore. That was great back in 2019. It can't work in 2022. And then I saw the people absolutely killing it in the group, in the community. I'm like, I'm doing this. I got the wrong mindset here. I got the wrong point of comparison. Because if you look for people that are failing with cold outbound, there's a million of them that are failing with cold outbound. Now, when you get into a group that's successful, making it happen, I go, okay, now I'm in the right group, right? So the community has been massive. People that are killing it with paid ads and cold outbound. And there's people that are just getting started. So there's a lot. It's a good mix of the group. It's a very great group. And I love these groups and I learn things. And it resets your, what's the word I'm looking for? It resets your comparison, okay? Because I want to win. I want to be better than everybody else. And when you're already better than everybody else in another group, you don't grow. When you're in a group and you're not making as much money as everybody else, that's very motivating for me.
Definitely. Yeah, that's like the one thing that I also see myself too, like in some masterminds I'm in, like see some people make more, it gets you motivated, right? But
Yeah.
it's a good point you brought up, with the outbound, right? Like the way I look at outbound, it's a golden nugget for anyone watching right now is like it just like ads, but like the audience a little bit more colder, right? So like the offer needs to be aligned. So like for us too, I was in the same spot a long time ago where I was like, outbound doesn't work, it's real estate saturated, and then like I just sat and thought, I'm like, maybe my offer needs to be tweaked, right? And that's when Nicole came with the whole free trial hypothesis. And then we started, ripping free trials like, dozens every single month. And that helped a ton. So I'm glad that, like you got someone on your team to implement that, because that is a really good profit center. And it's like, I think your business is in a really good spot because like you got a lot of profit centers, organic marketing. So you've got the outbound team's going to start forming, and then you got the channel partners and you got the organic marketing. I'm sure you got a YouTube channel flowing. And on top of that, the Facebook ads, which with more repetition through demos and more tweaks and more sales call reviews, you're going to get that close rate up, and just to generate your pipes to start converting, you get to about 150 200K a month, you'll be really profitable, and then you start adding on a back end offer to even be even more profitable.
Correct.
And there's so many ways, like like that's the thing with like an REMC or a Renegade program, whatever it is, you're a real estate coach consultant, that's all it is, you're helping real estates, right? There's so many back-end offers, like you're with EXP Realty. We have some folks with Real Broker. Like people are attracting their downlines, which some people may not get my watches right now, but like it's a really lucrative opportunity. And you're gonna have a lot of agents. Like we had like 1,000 agents, and I look at it as like I should have been licensed at that time to attract, because there were people that easily could have partnered up with me. And that I know people that make 500 grand a month, and I've been on like in recurring passive income from EXP. And that's another funnel for you to use, right? Which is a really big advantage. So yeah, you've got like a really good base and a lot of knowledge, and you've been in a lot of masterminds. But for anyone out there, let's just say that has no experience, right? And like they want to achieve the same results as you want to get 6 figures a month, or multiple 6 figures a month, which is you're pretty much going to hit soon. What's your number one piece of advice for them?
Oh man, there's so much advice. So what's one piece of advice? So I think the number one thing is you got to bet on yourself, you got to invest in yourself, right? There's so many reasons not to do it, right? But I think it's that for me, it comes from knowing yourself. If you're someone that loves to learn in that group environment, that wants to, if you're getting lost in all these YouTube videos and YouTube channels and all this advice you're getting left and right, but you're lacking execution, you should join a program like this where you get advice from a proven executor, and you're surrounded by other people that are executing. If that environment you can thrive in an environment like that, you should join a program like this. And I'm a big proponent, right, of the coaching systems and the communities, because I perform better in those kinds of communities. So look for those opportunities. And I think for a lot of folks that are on the fence, they're not sure, they're not making any progress, maybe that's what they need, right? They need a guy that actually knows what the hell they're doing, which is important, like very important. You don't just want to follow a guru that all they do is teach you how to find other people that you want a guru, right? Like people that have actually done the job, done the work. That's what attracted me to you guys, right? It wasn't just that you had some great videos and said some great interesting things. It was the proven track record, okay? The proven track record that you guys had was like, okay, great, I want to do that. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. So I think that is such an important piece of it. So don't overthink it. jump in, execute, right? Follow the program, follow the scripts, learn from the community, and you're gonna get to where you want to go. It is that simple. It's not easy, but it is as simple as that, is joining a program and executing.
Definitely. Yeah, you brought up a really good point. Of the whole, I've always wanted to make it where I want to lead with, the practice and preach, right? Like, even this week, we still bring on agents for our lead gen coaching program. Like, I always want to lead with that because it just allows us to serve the community even better, right? But yeah, like this was, really insightful for me as well. And I'm sure everyone listening to this would be super grateful. Gustavo, really thank you for your time. Tell us a little bit more about how they can find what you do, because your services are super beneficial to not just real estate agency owners or marketing agency consultancy owners, whatever, coaches, consultants, but for other niches as well, right? Like I think you were, have people that have actually used your services for hiring setters at a very cheap cost. So tell me more about that, and how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. And I love working with agency owners. I mean, real estate is my bread and butter, but I love working with folks like running their own agencies. It's just kind of a different clientele. I love that. It's kind of who I am, how I came up. So yeah, we help folks find appointment setters for their agency, for real estate, for their Facebook leads, inbound, organic, helping them set appointments with folks that are experienced call center callers for $5 to $6 an hour. So people can check us out, our offer, and what we do at PowerIsa.com. PowerIsa.com. That's the best way to reach out to me and my team. We'd love to help you out.
Awesome. Awesome. It was a pleasure having you on, Gustavo, and let's crush the next year.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Talk soon.